What's up, everyone? Today will be a little bit of a different video, obviously. I'm trying it from a different angle, and this will be my pull list weekly for my comics. And right now, just to show you the thickness of them, this is about what I get every week. Obviously, the top right there is Medieval Spawn. So the first one we have is Medieval Spawn and Witchblade. Now, I already read this issue. This one is actually pretty good so far. This is actually my introduction to Spawn. I've never read any Spawn before, and I actually really enjoy this one. The next one is also Image, and it's Port of Earth issue 5. And this series was one that I was very excited about before it even came out. I saw it in the previews for last year, and I immediately pre-ordered it, and when issue 1 came out, it was exactly what I thought it would be. It's a really interesting, and it makes you think a lot, and I just kind of love those comics. The next one is from IDW, The Spider King, issue 4. This one is also really good. It's Viking times, and about some aliens or something crash land on Earth, and Vikings find their weapons and stuff. It's pretty interesting. Next one is from Image, Analog. This one's actually really interesting. It's more like a detective kind of series. The next one is Robert Kirkman's new comic book, issue 3 of Oblivion Song. This one's pretty awesome. It's kind of post-apocalyptic. I haven't read this issue yet, so I don't know if they address it, but it's I can't tell if it's either time travel or if he's just going through a different portal or something, but it's really interesting. The next issue is Isola. Now, this is the second issue of this series, so there's not that much on it to go yet, but I will most likely do a review for it because I actually really enjoy this comic. Now, that's kind of the Image, IDW, just stuff that isn't Marvel and DC. So now we get into Marvel, and the first one on the list is Venom #1. I have been really, really stoked and excited for this issue. One, because when I first got into comics last year, there wasn't really that many cool things going on with Venom, except for the Venomverse and stuff, so that's kind of what I picked up, and I always wanted just to pick up with his main series, and now that they went back to #1, I finally have a chance to go through it, so I'm really excited about that one. Next one is Hunt for Wolverine, the Adamantium Agenda, and this one is basically the third issue for Hunt for Wolverine. And I plan on doing a review for those 3 issues, most likely my next one. Alright, next issue is The Incredible Hulk, number 716. It's another part into the World War Hulk. I forget if this is part 2 or part 3. They come out once a month rather than once a week for most of the other Marvel titles, so I forget what part. But it's been interesting. I was kind of mixed on Planet Hulk 2, so just kind of trying to see how World War Hulk 2 is, if it's better or not. Then next is the Star Wars stuff, and it's The Last Jedi, issue 1, the adaptation. Cover looks really awesome. It's on Octo, Rey, and Luke with the Porgs, and just excited to see how that goes. Well, even though I already saw the movie, but with the different added scenes and stuff. Next one is Thrawn, number 4, the adaptation from the Thrawn novel. I didn't read the novel, so this is a great thing for me to read because I love the comics, and from what I've heard, they actually skip some of the slower things that happened in the Thrawn novel. So far it's been a really good read. Next is Darth Vader, number 16. I have been loving the Darth Vader line and all the other lore that they've introduced through this series in particular. From right when he gets his new suit, to him creating his lightsaber, to him hunting down all the other Jedi, and you see the Inquisitors that was this whole kind of big team, or kind of it's not as big as an army, but it was introduced in Rebels, and to see it go kind of further is awesome. So now that is it for Marvel. Except for this, You Are Deadpool #2. I do have the first one, but I haven't played it because it's kind of like a D&D type situation, and I'm waiting till I get all 5, that way I can just play the whole thing. So I will have a review for that whenever it's like a 5 or 6 issue thing. So next we have DC. Well, next and last we have DC, and the one issue that I have been extremely excited for is the conclusion to Batman White Knight. This has been just an amazing series, and it's a take that as soon as I saw it in the previews, I was completely 100% in for it. It's in case you guys haven't read it, it's basically the Joker and Batman fighting off in the beginning, and Batman just goes too far. He nearly kills Joker in front of a bunch of people, and he forces him to take the drugs that he was stealing, just shoving an entire mix of pills down his throat, and that actually ends up somewhat curing his Joker kind of craziness, and then it slowly goes back throughout the series, but it's mostly Jack Napier trying to take back Gotham and make Batman look out to be the villain, and then towards the end they start teaming up, and I haven't read this one, but I'm real excited to see the end of this series. Then the next one is the Immortal Men. Really interested about that. Don't really know too much other than they came out of Metal. They only got 1 issue so far. Next is one of my newer favorite heroes in the DC universe, Sideways, #4. That one's really interesting. Also came out of the Metal storyline. Next is The Flash. This is, I believe, one of the last issues before the Flash War. Really excited for Flash War. Next is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, #44. This one should be gearing up towards the end of this Dark Star Rising with Tomar Ray's son. I forget what he's called, but he turns in, he joins the Dark Star and all fighting. And then lastly, we have Justice League No Justice, the direct storyline out of Metal. And this I have been really excited for since I found out that they were doing more with the Metal universe, because when Metal was announced last year, that was actually the storyline that got me into heavily collecting comics and getting this giant stack every week. And I really enjoyed the Metal storyline, and I was so excited when they said that it was going to have just a huge and lasting impact on the DC universe, or comic universe, and seeing all these different storylines and new characters come out of all this. So overall, this was my pull list for this week, and I'll be doing one every week and then reviewing the issues that I thought were the best of the week. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe and like the video, and also just to know when my videos upload, be sure to hit the bell. Alright, see you guys later.